Hi guys, welcome back to EcoH Careers. In this video, I am going to share the most important and frequently asked interview questions for the Cognizant Java cluster interview. Generally, in the Java cluster, we can expect questions from Java, SQL, and front-end technologies. Some students may know Python and they had even chosen the Python cluster. But if you are assigned the Java cluster, then don't worry. This video will help you a lot for you. If you prepare smartly and focus on the right topics, you can cover a lot of important areas like without getting overwhelmed. Apart from technical questions, I will also tell you how to prepare for project questions and HR questions because these are equally important in a fresher interview. So watch the video till the end because I'm going to cover everything in one place. This is going to be a best video for Cognizant preparation. During my placement preparation, I collected many interview questions from my friends, YouTube, Telegram, also from students who had already completed their interviews. As you can see on the screen, I have combined the questions that were repeatedly asked or considered important. If you prepare only this, there is 90% chance that definitely will clear the interview. Remaining 10% depends on your communication, presentation of your answers, and luck. Okay, let's begin with Java. Java is one of the main areas you need to focus on for the Java cluster. I'm going to divide Java into two main parts. First is theory, second is coding questions. Let's start with theory because this is where you can really show the interviewer how well you understand the concepts. And one important thing, don't just memorize these answers, understand what you are saying. If the interviewer asks a follow up question, you should be able to explain it in your own words. Think of this as your final revision before the interview. Prepare these questions properly and practice saying the answers aloud. Let's begin with OOPS concepts. This is one of the most important areas in Java. You can get multiple questions from OOPS. So don't skip this section. Four pillars of OOPS are abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism, and inheritance. As you can see on the screen, these are the most asked interview questions. Take a screenshot and prepare each question properly. Moreover, practice saying it because it improves your flow. Now let's move on to core Java. Before we start, don't think much. Generally, Cognizant interviews are manageable if you prepare smartly. They mostly ask about the concepts and skills you have mentioned in your resume. So make sure you know entire resume well. Be confident, explain whatever you have genuinely learned and give your best. Don't worry too much, prepare properly, stay calm, and everything will go definitely in your favor. Now, I will show you the most asked Java theory questions that I collected from different students after their interviews. As you can see on the screen, this is set 1, this is set 2. Take a screenshot, prepare each question properly, and make sure you can explain the answers confidently in your own words. Now, they might also ask a question like, why did you choose Java cluster? Don't start explaining like why Java is better than Python or C hash. They are asking about your choice. So you can say like, I choose Java because I practiced it during my college preparation and I am comfortable with its syntax and object-oriented concepts. Moreover, I feel confident writing code in Java. So I felt Java was the right choice for me. Keep it personal and honest. Don't say Java is the best language in the world. Okay, that's the important Java theory section. Now let's move on to Java coding questions. I'm not going to solve this in this video because I want you to actually practice them yourself. I will display the important questions on the screen. These are the questions. This is set 1. This is set 2. And this is the set 3. Pause the video, take a screenshot and try solving each on yourself before your interview. If you can't solve one immediately, don't worry, go back, practice the concept and try again. If you have less time, like around 3 to 4 days, and you are unable to code, at least by heart them and at any cost you have to clear the interview. Now let's move on to SQL. SQL is another important area in the Cognizant interview. So don't skip this section. Just like Java, I will divide it into two parts, SQL theory and second one is SQL coding questions. Let's first cover the theory. As you can see on screen, these are the questions. Set 1, this is set 2. Prepare each question properly. Now let's move on to SQL coding questions. Again, I am only showing the questions here. Take a screenshot and prepare writing the queries yourself. Don't just look at the question. Think you know it. Open MySQL or whichever SQL environment you are using and actually read the query. These are the types of questions you should be comfortable with before your interview. Next, let's move on to front end. Here we are mainly talking about HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you have already learned JavaScript, that's great. If you feel JavaScript is difficult, then don't panic. For this preparation, make sure your HTML and CSS basics are strong and revise JavaScript fundamentals as well. I collected some important questions here. These are the questions as you can see on the screen. This is set 1, set 2. There are many more front-end concepts like animations, positioning, selectors, media queries, and so on. Since most of you have already learned front-end during your second year or third year, my suggestion is for front-end, revise the complete basis of you have already studied. Sometimes an interviewer may ask only one or two basic questions. Sometimes they may go deeper. So we can't predict exactly what your interviewer will ask. For Java and SQL, focus strongly on the questions I am showing in this video. For front-end, revise overall concepts once. Now let's move on to the most important part of the interview, HR and project questions. A lot of students prepare only technical questions and then struggle when the interviewer asks them to introduce themselves or explain about their project. Don't make that mistake. Your technical knowledge matters, but the way you present yourself and communicate your knowledge matters too. Let's move on to the first HR question. Tell me about yourself. This is probably the question you should prepare the most. Start with your name and education, then mention the technical skills you have actually confident in. After that, briefly introduce your projects, just the title, technologies used, and what the projects does. Then talk about your internship or relevant experience and mention important achievements. Finally, you can show your interest in joining the company. One important thing, don't memorize a 5-paragraph word for word. Prepare the structure and practice speaking naturally. Your introduction should ideally be around 2 to 3 minutes, depending on how much relevant information you have. And practice saying it loudly. Because even if you know English well, interviews can make you nervous. When you are nervous, you may forget words, pause too much, or lose your flow. So practice until your introduction sounds natural. After your introduction, there is a good chance that the interviewer will ask you about your project. Definitely, they will ask about your projects in every interview. So keep your projects ready. For each project, be prepared for questions like most asked, like what technologies did you use? Why did you choose those technologies? What exactly did you contribute? What did you learn from this project? What challenges did you face? And if your project involves machine learning, they may ask which model did you use and why. Some interviewers may even ask you to show your code of your project or output. So don't put a project on your resume that you cannot explain properly. If it's on your resume, be prepared to defend it. Next question, they may ask, why should we hire you? Don't compare yourself with every other candidate, like saying, I am better than him, like that. Focus on why you are a good fit for this role. Like, talk about your technical skills, projects, learning ability, like adaptability and communication. And don't just list qualities like I am hardworking and I am passionate. Give a small reason or example that supports your strengths. Your goal is to make the interviewer understand what value you can bring as a fresher. Next, they may ask about your family background, like tell me about your family. Keep it simple, tell them how many members are in your family and what they do. You don't need to give extremely personal details. Just speak naturally and confidently. One important thing, don't memorize someone else's family answer. Use your actual family details. For example, you can say, I am from a nuclear family consisting of four, like my father, mother, my brother, and me, and say about them. Next question they may ask, like, do you have any offer? If they ask whether you do you have any other offer, be honest. Don't lie just because you think saying no will increase your chances. If you have any offer, explain it honestly. If you don't say, if you don't simply say that you are currently focused on finding the right opportunity and you are interested in this role. Honesty is always safer in an interview. Next question they may ask on what are your strengths and weaknesses. For strengths, don't randomly pick qualities from YouTube. Choose strengths that are actually true about you. For example, adaptability, communication, leadership, problem solving, or learning quickly. And for weakness, don't say I don't have any weakness. Choose a genuine but manageable weakness, and most importantly, explain what you are doing to improve it. For example, if you are sometimes take on too many tasks because you find it difficult to say no, explain that you are working on setting priorities and managing your workload better. That's make your answer much more believable. For your strength, you can add as like I'm good in leading a team. Like generally, like you may have leaded a cricket team during your school days. You can even mention that Sir, I am good in managing a team and I have good leadership qualities. You just be honest and say what your skills. If you say your own, it will be like unique. Instead of collecting things from YouTube, it will be better. Next question you may expect, why do you want to work at Cognizant? If they ask, don't make it sound like you are desperate about the job. Connect the company about the role with your interests, skills, and career goals. Show that you are actually researched about the company and understand why the opportunity interests you. Your answer should communicate this the role matches what I have learned and I want to grow by contributing here. Next question, what do you know about the company? Do some basic research before the interview. Know the company's background, major services, business areas, recent developments, and the role you are applying for. Don't memorize random facts just to impress the interviewer. Pick a relevant facts and explain why they interest you. Next question, where do you want to see yourself in next 5 years? This is most repeatedly asked. So don't say something like I want to move to Google or Amazon. Focus on your growth. You can say that you want to build strong technical expertise, take more responsibility, contribute to projects, and eventually move on to a position where you can lead or mentor others. The interviewers want you to see whether you have a realistic direction for your career or not. Next, they might also ask a HR question like if you are given a project that you don't know much about, what will you do in that situation? Don't say that you can't do it. Explain your approach. Like first and the requirement and identify what you don't know and learn from documentation and reliable resources. And ask your team members for guidance when necessary. Say in this way. The important thing they are checking here is your adaptability and learning attitude. Next question, how do you handle pressure? Don't give only a definition, give a real example from college, exams, like projects and internships, or any situation where you had a deadline. Example, what the situation was, what you did, and what the result was. A real example is much stronger than saying, I am good at handling pressure. Next one, are you comfortable with relocation? Simply say, yes, I am comfortable with relocation. I see it as a great opportunity to experience a new environment, grow professionally, and contribute wherever the project requires. Keep it simple. Next question, are you comfortable with night shifts? You can say, yes, I am comfortable working in different shifts based on your project and client requirements. Again, don't say something just because you think that the interviewer wants to hear it. Be honest about your actual availability. Next one, what is your proudest moment? Choose something real. It doesn't have to be huge national level achievement. It can be a college achievement, sports achievement, like project achievement, leadership experience, or something meaningful to you. What matters is that you can explain why it was important to you. Next one, tell me about your hobbies. For hobbies, again, be honest. If you say cricket, reading, coding, traveling, or anything else, be prepared for the interview to ask one or two follow up questions. So don't mention a hobby just because you think it sounds impressive. Next question they may ask like tell me about your college journey. Talk about your learning and your experiences. You can mention projects, technical learning, friends, events, sports, leadership activities, or anything that genuinely shaped you. Don't turn it into a memorized essay. Just tell your story naturally. These are many HR questions. I'm just covering most asked. If you practice properly each question, your vocabulary and sentence formation will improve. If any new question they ask, you can say confidently and go with the flow. Finally, they may ask like, do you have any questions for us? Don't immediately say, no, I don't have any questions. Prepare one or two genuine questions in advance. For example, you can ask about the learning opportunities for freshers or what the initial training and onboarding process looks like. One or two good questions are enough. Don't keep asking questions just to extend the interview. End on a positive note. Before we finish, I have one small update for you. I am also planning to cover Python and C# cluster interview preparation with the same approach, theory and coding questions and HR preparation. So if your friends have Python or C# clusters, share this channel with them as well and ask them to subscribe. I have also created a WhatsApp discussion group where students can share their job updates, interview experience, test mails, and application updates. For example, if two students apply for the same company and one receives an assessment or interview mail first, instead of everyone waiting without knowing what's happening, they can share the update and help each other. I am also a 2025 graduate, so I know what it feels like to prepare for placements, attend interviews, make mistakes, and keep trying. I recently started this YouTube channel because I wanted to share the things I learned during my own placement preparation and make the process easier for other freshers. I will be covering hiring updates and interview preparation for companies like Accenture, TCS, Wipro, and many more. So if you are a fresher looking for opportunities, stay connected because I will be posting those updates regularly. One final suggestion before we end, please attend mock interviews. I strongly recommend doing at least 4 or 5 mock interviews if you have the opportunity. Students usually prepare for interviews like exams, but there is one big difference. In exam, you get time to think and write. In an interview, you have to speak, think, listen, and respond at the same time. That's why just reading answer isn't enough. The more you practice speaking, the more natural your answers become and the less nervous you feel. And finally, remember one important thing. An interview is not only about coding and theory. Your technical knowledge is important, but the interviewer also notices your confidence, communication, attitude, and the way you present your knowledge. Sometimes luck also plays a role, but preparation gives you much better chance of converting the opportunity. So remember this, coding will help you get the opportunity, but communication, confidence, and preparation help you convert the opportunity into a job. That's one of the biggest things I learned from my own placement experience. If you follow the preparation strategy I have shared in this video, practice these questions properly, revise your coding problems, prepare your projects, and practice speaking aloud, you will go into your interview with much more confidence. If this video helped you, please like the video and subscribe to my channel for such genuine content and hiring opportunities. All the very best for your placements. Thanks for watching.